Everybody looks at how jacked these dudes are in prison, and right away they're saying these guys are just roided out, they're juiced out, geared out. I know this because I'm seeing it in the comments all the time. I'm even seeing it in the interviews where you got these guys who have never been to the joint, never been to the pen, never been locked up, period, and they're talking about how, trying to justify how is it that these dudes in prison are so jacked and so beasted out and all that kind of stuff, and they're coming up with, it's gotta be roids. It's gotta be roids, right? It's gotta be roids. I mean, they're criminals. They've got access to the mules from overseas, all that good stuff, you know? They got the connection. Now let me tell you, I was locked up for 24 years. And I know it was 24 years of close security, max security in some states you could call it, level 5, that's what it was called where I'm at, camps. So I don't know about the lower security camps and the minimal security camps and all that kind of stuff. But I can tell you this, in 24 years, I never, with my own 2 eyes, saw anybody getting in steroids, juice, gear, whatever you want to call it. Now, I did hear about one guy. Now, let me just verify this again, though. In 24 years, I did hear about one guy who was supposed to have been getting in steroids. I'll get into that a little bit later. But in my book, that's basically a bust. So in today's episode, I'm going to break down why it is that basically steroids do not exist behind bars. I'm going to give you guys the economics of it, the logistics of it, the risks involved, basically the whole 9. It's the reality of why it's not a thing. And trust me, once you understand it, you're going to see prison muscle in a whole nother way. But the most important part, I'm also going to break down what it is the guys did to get big and how it is that you out here can apply those same type techniques. It's going to be quick, it's going to be short, it's going to be easy. However, spoiler alert, it's not sexy. It is real. Why you don't see steroids inside prison. Number 1 is price. Steroids are already extremely expensive out on the street, so in order to get them smuggled into the prison, it's going to be crazy expensive. You have to pay the street price to get them, and you have to pay the mule price to get them in. And they're bulky. More on that in a second. So it's going to be even more difficult to get it muled in.
Yeah, but they get in drugs and tobacco and phones.
Yep, and all those things are not individually used things, and they can all make you money. The drugs and tobacco are obvious. The phones maybe not so obvious. But trust me when I tell you, a phone in the hands of a prisoner can be a massive money-making instrument. From orchestrating things out on the street to just being able to reach out and talk to people out on the street who have money, who you used to know, to meeting new people out on the street and being able to pull them in and start making money off of them or with them. All these things are the ways that people can make money with phones in the prison system. Plus, you could also rent that phone out for phone time. I mean, you got to pimp that phone, man. That's how it rolls. Number 2, bulky. That's right, steroid pills are all bulky, big pills. Or you've got vials and syringes and all that kind of stuff. All these things are going to be extremely difficult to stash and hide and get past the random shakedowns and searches and all that kind of stuff that we had to go through. You know, this isn't like getting in drugs where it's like it comes in, you bag it up, you flip it, you're done, you're off it, quick, 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 bang, bang, bang. This is, you've got these big bulky pills that you're going to have to hold on to and continually make it past all these different shakedowns and random shakedowns and all that kind of stuff over time because you got to run a cycle. You need it for a couple of months span. Number 3, monitoring. You have to be able to monitor this stuff. Otherwise, you're just like freestyle taking steroids. Now, I'm not a guru, so I do not know all the little ins and outs of steroids. Maybe there are some steroids that you could just like pop these things like M&Ms. I don't know. But from my understanding of it, you need to be able to monitor it and take it very precisely. Otherwise, you're just going out like guinea pig style. And no matter what, there's still the deal of the bulk and the price. Now, before I get into what guys actually do in prison to get big, let's talk about that guy. So when I met Trey, he was a pretty slim dude. Wasn't even really big into working out. And he's telling me about how there was this time a while back where he had this connection and the guy was able to get whatever in, no problems. So he got in a cycle of steroids. He said it was some kind of like pill steroid. I don't even think he didn't even remember what the name was of the thing. He was just calling them like his like happy pills because he said he could pop these things and it was like there was like no need for recovery. You were like go, like you hit it the next day. You're not sore. You just hit it again. And from what he said, he got phenomenal results from it. And I did ask some of the other guys that I knew that also knew him around the time that he was telling me he had these pills, and they said that, yeah, Trey blew up. They said he got jacked. However, before he ended up running the entire cycle, towards the end of it, he ended up getting locked up for some other miscellaneous thing. I'm not sure what exactly it was, but whatever it was, it put him in the hole for a decent amount of time. And when he went in, he was not able to get access to the pills, so he lost all of the pills that he had, and it was a crazy amount of money that he had spent to get those pills. And when he came out of the hole, he was the skinny Trey that I had met, and I guess his real thing wasn't working out. So in 24 years, that was the one guy that I heard about who got steroids in prison. And I was always a workout dude. I was always in the workout crews. So if there were steroids floating around, I'd have been hearing about it. Somebody would have brought them to me, or I'd have just been able to tell from just seeing some guy or a couple of guys who just would all of a sudden have gotten out of our normal Larry bleh, results. And I didn't see it. Now, back to what the guys actually do to get jacked. Now, this is the part that people just really don't want to believe. The truth is that muscle gets built in prison with insane consistency, simple progressive overloading, a lot of high rep max out sets with a ton of time under tension, a lot of time spent focused on optimizing every part of the workout, the competitive edge that goes along with doing every workout in front of everyone, and eating those 4 to 6 meals a day spread out throughout the entire day consistently. Now, I'm not going to lie. The environment itself could, depending on the dormitory you're in, also possibly lead to a heightened level of testosterone. If you're in like a regular normal dormitory, being able to work out and get rest and do all that kind of stuff, yes, you might just be a little bit more jacked up with your T because you've got that like continual prison competitive nature type action going on. However, if you're in one of those maniac dorms where you're in 24/7 war mode, it will be the absolute opposite because your body will just be maximally stressed 24/7, and that does not lead to good T, and it could end up that you're actually in like a detrimental mode of testosterone build. So I'm going to leave that one to you on that one. There is a balancing act there. And if you want to go deeper into the prison workout stuff, you can hit the link on the screen and that will take you into the convict conditioning video that I made. That also leads off and it'll get you nicely into the Vinny from the Feds workout video as well as Big John's workout, Total Beast. And without further ado, let me just say peace, love, joy, all that good stuff, prosperity. I will see you guys in the next one.